Another week of cricket is done and dusted. India had a horrible week of cricket.
Before we talk about India getting whitewashed against New Zealand and whatever crickets that's happened in the past week, there's this one ray of good news for an Indian cricket fan. But before we get into all of that, subscribe.
New Zealand have whitewashed India 3-0. The first time India has ever been whitewashed in a 3-match or more series at home. And it's the first time in New Zealand's cricketing history that they've gone on to win 3 test matches in a single test series.
Funnily enough, before the match started, Gautam Gambhir in the pre-match press conference said that the Indian batters don't struggle against spin or haven't worsened against spin, which is statistically not true. And we saw that in the Mumbai test as well as compared to the New Zealand batters. We Indians just simply struggled. And talking about Indian coaches, VVS Lakshman will be the coach for the Indian team while flying out to South Africa for the T20 series. And this is not new. There was a lot of buzz around VVS Lakshman being the new coach. This has happened before when Rahul Dravid and his men were busy preparing for another series. And this is exactly what's happening now. Gautam Gambhir and staff will be in Australia preparing for the BGT, which is why VVS Lakshman has to take over. The number 4 of the Indian test team, Virat Kohli, who had a horrid series and has had a horrible test season so far, as it talks to become the next RCB captain. Apparently, he's made himself available, and a lot of people think that this is the right move so that he can mentor another youngster who can then take over his captaincy.
Now coming to the Associate Nations, Bahrain beat Uganda to tie the T20 bilateral series 1-1. Nepal are also continuing their good form. They beat Scotland in the ICC CWC League 2 game, and these are extremely good signs for Nepal as they've beaten Canada and USA, and now they've beaten Scotland, a fairly established ODI team at this point. And coming back to international cricket, South Africa wrapped up the test series against Bangladesh. They beat them 2-0. Rabada has got a 5-for once again and he moved to the first position in the ICC's test bowler rankings.
Sticking with the South Africans, Gary Kirsten has resigned from the Pakistan white ball coach. Apparently and evidently there was a lot of differences between Gary Kirsten and the Pakistan cricket board, and he didn't want to do it anymore just 6 months after being appointed the white ball coach. Jason Gillespie will now take over as the white ball coach and will be for the foreseeable future until a new coach is appointed.
Now in the build up to the Border Gavaskar Trophy, India A did play that first tour game against Australia A. The only bright points for India A were Sai Sudarshan, who got a century, and Devdutt Padikkal, who also looked pretty good with the bat. With the ball, you had Mukesh Kumar and Prasidh Krishna stepping up. Mukesh Kumar got a 6-for, and the backup opener for India, Abhimanyu Ishwaran, failed in both the innings.
Funnily enough, on the last day of the match, Ishan Kishan and the umpire had a whole tiff going on. According to the umpires on the field at that point, wanted to change the ball because the ball had a scratch mark on, and there was few allegations that the Indian team were tampering with the ball, and Ishan Kishan didn't take that lightly at all, and he was completely unhappy with the fact that they had to change the ball. After the match got over, Cricket Australia clarified that the ball hadn't been tampered with, but just simply deteriorated.
Now, one ray of sunshine in this cloudy week for Indian fans is that the Indian women did beat New Zealand women in the ODI series 2-1. You had Smriti Mandhana score yet another century. She now goes to the top of the list for centuries by Indian women. She's currently at 8. She overtook Mithali Raj. And sticking with women's cricket, Spain clobbered Croatian women 4-0. Croatian women struggled to cross 50 throughout the series. They only crossed that landmark once, and they also got all out for 13 in that first game in the T20 series. In another series, the Greece women beat Bulgarian women 4-0. And wrapping up with the women's cricket fixtures, Rwanda women beat Kenya women 3-2 in a T20I series, promising signs for Rwanda cricket. Now coming back to India for the Ranji Trophy, we had Rajat Patidar who got 159 this week for Madhya Pradesh. Of course, there were also a few other big scores and lots of wickets taken, but nothing of prominence for promising players who might make it to the Indian Test team anytime soon.
You might have missed Shreyas Iyer from the Mumbai squad, and that is because he is currently injured. There were a lot of rumors about him being injured, but then he is missing from the Mumbai squad. I don't see any other reason for him to do so. So Shreyas Iyer for now is injured.
And continuing with India's losing streak, the Hong Kong Sixes tournament is currently on, where India have lost not only to Pakistan but also to Oman. And a little bit of trivia for you, the Hong Kong Sixes tournament is coming back after 12 years. You had the likes of the great Sachin Tendulkar and other such legends play this tournament when it used to happen earlier. However, this time India has failed to record even one win in the tournament as of this recording. Now for England, Liam Livingstone came back and scored a century. England managed to chase down 328 against West Indies to level the ODI series 1-1, and the deciders is going to be happening on 6th November, so watch out for that.
Sticking with English cricket, Ben Stokes, while he was in Pakistan, had his home robbed in England, where his wife and 2 kids were present. Again, I'm not going to talk much about it because there's a lot of allegation and suspects involved, and we don't want to comment on it until things are confirmed.
Now, Australia's hunt for the second opener slot is still open. There's still a lot of reports going around, and tussle is between Marcus Harris, Cameron Bancroft, Nathan McSweeney, and Sam Constas. However, in that tour game, it was Nathan McSweeney who scored a half century in the second innings and is currently standing out in that bunch of players. Having said that, Marcus Harris, Cameron Bancroft are people who have played Test cricket for Australia before, so it'll be interesting to see who finally gets that nod for the second opener slot.
Maxwell is having the time of his life for the past 2 weeks, going on podcasts and interviews talking about his new book release that happened this week. It's called The Showman, where he talks about a lot of incidents dealing with alcohol, dealing with Justin Langer, and a lot of things that made him the player that he is today. Sticking with players down under, Mathew Wade has retired from international cricket. He will continue to play franchise leagues, especially the BBL, but he has been already talking to George Bailey and Andrew McDonald about the coaching role, and he will be part of the Australian coaching staff that's going to play against Pakistan this week.
That's it for this week. Definitely like, share, and comment down on this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. We do this every Monday, and watch out for our Tuesday and Friday videos. All of our links are in the description. Thanks for watching.